We have another wide receiver coming off the board. The next one is Quentin Johnston, the TCU wide receiver. Long, athletic, explosive. And here to react with us, Nicky Snacks Kreider,
What up?
host of Ring the Bell and the Charity Stripe. Nick.
With a name like that, you deserve to be on the Sandlot.
Thank you.
You know what I mean?
I did play baseball back in my day.
First of all, I'm digging the new mustache. I don't, unless you had it yesterday and I wasn't paying attention, which is probably the case. But the Quentin Johnston pick, like, I'm going to completely poo-poo this right now. I don't like it. You guys have too many big receivers. It feels really weird.
Okay.
I know that you wanted a weapon, and I forget if you took Johnson in the mock draft that we did, but what do you think of the pick? Do you like it?
I did not. I took Bijan, and obviously
that's who it was.
We'd have to move up quite a bit to get Bijan, and I'm a Texas guy, so it hurts me to see him on another team, but it is what it is. He's gonna have a great career. On the Johnston pick, look, at the end of the day, I want an offensive weapon. I was hoping we get Smith and Shigba, but he goes literally right before us. It's that same feeling that you have in a fantasy draft where you have your eye on a guy and he gets taken right underneath you. So Quentin Johnston, we'll see what happens here. I think at the end of the day, the Chargers are going to have some decisions to make in the offseason when this is all said and done financially. What are they going to do with Keenan Allen? What are they going to do with Mike Williams? Because both of those guys have huge cap hits after this season. They're big already, but next year it's even more ridiculous. And I think they're going to have to part ways with at least one of those guys. So adding that third guy to have some insurance here for the next 4 to 5 years, I think is a smart move. And with Justin Herbert, you got to capitalize on his cheap contract while you can. You're gonna have to extend him eventually.
I think a corner that hasn't been taken yet, and Keely Ringo really showed, maybe a little question mark in scouts' ideas about Quentin Johnston because he's a bigger dude. They got kind of just physical at the line of scrimmage in that national championship game.
I'm with you,
Joe, but it's their MO. It's the Charmers' MO. You got big receivers there. Okay, they like tall, long, athletic dudes. Pause. I don't necessarily like the pick, but it always works for them. Okay, it works for them. Maybe you could have gone somewhere else. Maybe an offensive line pick. I don't know, but it kind of is par for the course for the Chargers, in my opinion.
I kind of also think this is, not to cut you off, Nick, but like I think they missed out on Jack Smith and Jigba, and they just went with the next guy on their board. Do you kind of think it might have been?
No, that's kind of how I feel as well. I think the pick was always going to be an offensive guy, whether it be Bijan if they fell to him, or maybe Zay Flowers.
Zay Flowers,
Jahmyr Gibbs too, if he was there.
As we're recording this, I got a text. That's why I was looking down. Zay Flowers is going to the Ravens. So now you have a team that's trying to trade for D-Hop. They have Odell, and now Zay Flowers is that next pick. So we have a run on wide receivers here.
I was thinking about the Ravens, right? And I thought Quentin would be a good fit for them because Lamar's really never had a big receiver to throw to. All the guys that Rashad Bateman's his biggest receiver at 6'1". Odell's 6 foot. He had Hollywood Brown back in the day, Devin Duvernay. Like Zay Flowers, is this going to be that big of an upgrade for how Lamar plays his game? We'll have to see. But look, at the end of the day, I'm happy the Chargers, were definitive and they made a pick for an offensive player to continue to build that offense for Herbert. We'll see if it pans out. I had a good eye on Quentin throughout his years at TCU, being a Texas fan, and he did some work against us.
Well, we'll see if this pick pans out. Can't go wrong adding an offensive weapon, and it might work for him situationally, being in a grouping where he doesn't have to be the guy. He can play off of these other players. Strong pick, though. I think they could have gone the better direction, but still a very, very strong pick. Nick, thank you so much for joining us. Make sure you check out the Charity Stripe, Ring the Bell, and also Best to Believe on Stadium that's going to be airing throughout the weekend. Make sure you catch that over the weekend. Much appreciated, Nick. Thank you for joining us.
Hook 'em horns.